Do not adjust your screens. Yes, we are in the car. It has been a while. Welcome back. But Wendy's dropped some new Frosties. I wanted to get these right away. So they have the Thin Mint Frosties that came out. I didn't know this until now, but they're in two different varieties. So you have vanilla and the chocolate version. I heard going into this that it was just going to be the vanilla version, and I was like, that wouldn't make sense for a Thin Mint, so I'm glad they at least had the option of both. You can get these small, medium, or large. They don't have the mini variety, which I was kind of disappointed in, but that's just a small thing to nitpick at. But drop a thumbs up, and yes, I do have more food. I just wanted to try something new, but the Frosty is really why we're here. So let's try this out. Let's see what's going on. Let's start off with this dripping chocolate one. I probably would start off with the dripping chocolate one, but also something you need to know about this is that the Frosty is just regular. The thing that makes this a Thin Mint is the fact that they have this cookie cream on the inside. Now, I hope there's at least little pieces of Thin Mint in here, but I don't know yet. We'll figure this out. Let's try this and see what's going on. I haven't been in the car so long, I forgot where my damn tray was. I forgot where I put the thing. But let me make sure I get enough of this on here to actually... All right, here we go. Okay, let me get another. One more. Going into this, I was very skeptical that they were going to use just syrup that flavored like Thin Mint. But luckily, there are little pieces of cookie in here. They're very small, almost like texturally you're talking about like a really, really food processed, crumbled up cookie. The only thing that I would complain about, the syrup does taste exactly like a Thin Mint. The problem you're going to run into, though, is if you don't get that syrup in every single bite, you won't taste it. So if I just went from the top and didn't stir this up to hell, I really wouldn't taste the Thin Mint at all. It just tastes like a Frosty, but... I'm going to try to stir this up just to see if it obviously makes it any better. But there's just a little bit of syrup on the inside or the outside of the cup. There's not much anywhere else. Well, let me see if I stir this up and try to scrape the hell out of this and see if it helps it out. All right, let's try this again. It's there. It's not really there, though. I did see on the app that there's an option to actually get additional syrup on the side. It costs $1 extra, though, so... Either ask them for it, but make sure they make it right or you're really not going to taste it. It's good if you get the syrup, but I'm not quite sure if it's not. I think the chocolate might be better than vanilla, but I don't know yet, so we have to try that one as well. But let's try the vanilla one as well. Same thing, just switch the chocolate Frosty for the vanilla Frosty. And I'm going to stir this up right off the bat. I don't know why I didn't stir the first one. I'm sure a lot of you guys were yelling at the screen because that's what y'all like to do when I screw up, but hey, we're all human here. Okay. So you can see there's little specks in here of that syrup. No. I'm going to be totally confused here. Hold on. I think I might like the vanilla version better. Didn't see that coming. Doesn't make sense because a Thin Mint doesn't have any vanilla in it whatsoever, but I feel like the flavor of the vanilla contrasts a lot better with that Thin Mint syrup. I can tell you right now, this is going to be heavily based on what location you visit and how they make your Frosty, because the flavor is only coming from the syrup. If they don't give you enough syrup, you won't like it. It does taste exactly like a Thin Mint from a syrup standpoint, though. Do I like it? Yes. Do I think it could be better? Absolutely. What could have made this better? Now, I heard Wendy's is making some changes to their Frosty selection, as if it was something more like a McFlurry, where there were actual pieces of Thin Mint that were all throughout this, and it was in every single bite. But you're almost playing roulette when you go get this, depending on your location. If you do, I suggest going inside and making sure they make it right, because you'll be highly disappointed if they don't give you the right version. I still think Wendy's does need to revamp their Frosty menu, and I think they heard people saying that, so they have made changes to it. They just don't have, the syrup thing doesn't work as well. They are sorely lacking behind places like McDonald's when it comes to their Frosty sweet treat thing if they want to do something with mix-ins. So I think the idea was in the right place, just the execution with just the syrup, it's not going to work. If I was going to get this again and I felt like paying the extra $1 to get the extra syrup in there, then I would think it was much better. But until then, I probably wouldn't get it without it. I only had this once and I wanted to try it again before it leaves the Wendy's forever. So I got their bacon mushroom burger again, which I keep saying bacon mushroom melt because that's what it used to be called. It's a different one back in the 90s. Oh, Wendy's employee. Wait. I'm sorry, I'm being nosy. I think somebody from Wendy's. I'm at the Wendy's and there's a car wash right here. The Wendy's employee just ran outside, ran to the car to get a bag. She's like talking to the dude. Hold on. Damn, she checking the receipt. I think he took somebody else's order. That's dedication. Hell yeah, she took the bag. But the car wash is packed right now too because everybody trying to wash the salt off their car. That's crazy. She laughing too. I don't know what happened. But I wanted to try this bacon mushroom burger again. In case you didn't see my review on that, let me break this down for you one more time. This has a garlic spread with some sauteed mushrooms, bacon. I added a tomato because I remember last time I said that it needed something like that to cut through. This is how it comes minus the tomato, by the way. No lettuce, no anything on it. Munster cheese, and then on a premium bun. That's it. Bro. Hold on. They went. She just ran outside and gave the dude his real bag. That's a Wendy's employee of the year right there. Nothing. People watch. They really added a ton of that garlic spread this time. Look how like drippy this burger is. So the flavor is almost too intense. I don't like this as much as I like the first time. I'm gonna try another bite though. Oh, that bite. I did not ask for extra. That garlic spread, there's like way too much on this burger. I just feel like I just ate butter. Like a pound of butter. Oh my God. Nah. I can't do this time. I thought I was going to be able to do it. I ain't going to be able to do it. That's why locations matter. That's why I say the same stuff at every location. When it comes to fast food, the most important thing is consistency. And depending on where you are, some places just don't have it. From day to day, hour to hour, you'll end up with an entirely different meal. So if you find a good location, go there exclusively if you really like franchises. I'm going to give that an N/A out of 10. I'm going to give that a garlic butter out of 10. It tastes like garlic butter. That legit just tasted like I ate a pound of butter in 2 bites. Like, I'm so not. I don't want that. I'm in the car today, but I still have a topic I want to discuss, and I just found this out this morning. Congratulations to the New York Yankees for joining the 21st century. If you don't know, the Yankees are a team in baseball that obviously is really rooted in tradition. Way back to the 1920s where they had Babe Ruth and all these guys. So in Yankees history, back in 1973, when late owner George Steinbrenner purchased them, he gave an order. Basically, he was raised in a military background that they had to keep a no beards policy. They were not allowed to have beards, and they had to have their hair shorter. They couldn't have long hair. That policy has been in place until today in the morning, where they finally backed it off and said that you are allowed to now have, I quote, a well-groomed beard. I guess that's up to player discretion. There were a few times where star players on the Yankees have actually tried to fight this. Don Mattingly, which is a Yankees legend, his number is retired. He wore number 23. And he, at one point, had a really long mullet. This was before I was born. I just knew, I'd read all this stuff. But Mattingly back then had a really long mullet. And at one point, George Steinbrenner personally benched him until he cut it. So he had a long hair, refused to cut it. And at one point towards the end of his career, he actually played a couple of games with a goatee until he caught wind of it. But the Yankees have over years have had players that have had, Johnny Damon comes to mind, had a really long beard. He had to shave it. And some players have actually refused to play for the Yankees because of their no beard policy. I thought personally that it was a little archaic, a little silly. At this point, they're the only team that has something like that. And it was silly to lose out on players because of a thing like facial hair. They've also had instances in the past. There was one player, I cannot remember this guy's name, but he had braids that were long. He cut his hair and they cut him the next day. That happened. It's happened a few times. George Steinbrenner passed away a little over a decade ago. His sons, Hank and Hal, have been running the team. Hal is more of the voice. I guess Hal spoke to current and former players, and they all said that the rule needed to go. So it's gone. I'm glad it's gone. As a Yankees fan, I thought it was a little bit crazy, but I understand why George Steinbrenner did it. Apparently, he said that it made the players have more discipline. Listen, keeping a well-groomed beard is also discipline as well. All right. I know a lot of people don't like the Yankees, but their tradition is their tradition. They're one of the few teams that never had last names in the back of their jerseys. A fun fact about the Yankees before I go, they were actually the first team to permanently have numbers on their jerseys. Their numbers were actually based off of their batting order. So numbers 1 through 9, etc. were used. The numbers 0 and 00 were never used in Yankees history at the time. This is why the 1929 Yankees actually had numbers 3, which was Babe Ruth. He batted third in lineup, and the fourth hitter was, you guessed it, Lou Gehrig. So there was a team, I believe it was the then Cleveland Indians, that had jersey numbers. They only did it for one day, but the Yankees were the first team to wear them permanently. But anyway, the Frosties were decent, a little disappointing. If you're going to do it, just make sure that you get enough or ask for more syrup. Other than that, that is all I have to say about it. This burger, I will never eat again. I almost felt queasy after eating it. But car videos in the winter are a rarity. I appreciate you guys for checking in. Yes, I will be back at the crib tomorrow, but we will be back tomorrow. More content, men and hand signs. They made it to YouTube.